If you remember the Operation Rainfall campaign, you probably remember these. Oh, what you might not know is how much of a headache it was to get them. Welcome to the Game Corner. I am Jeff, real name today, and in celebration of the 10th anniversary of Xenoblade Chronicles' North American release, I'm sure plenty of people are going to talk about the campaign that not only played a role in this game's success, but also the localization of The Last Story and Pandora's Tower, a trio that was unofficially dubbed the Operation Rainfall Trilogy, or I guess as it's put on this case, the Rainfall Collection. I, however, want to talk about something else, something that has never really been covered all these years later. What happened with these covers? Well, as a former editing manager for nearly 3 years at the website, there's my profile there with a picture from when I was 20, I do have knowledge about what happened. First, let me get into some lingo ground rules. If at any point I say the word we or us referring to the website, that was from when I was part of the website from around E3 2012 through about March 2016. If I say they or them, it's either the campaign or the website after I left. Again, us, I was there. Them, I wasn't there. Okay, let's do this. So, as a campaign, they push to bring awareness and hopefully, eventually, the localizations of 3 titles: Xenoblade Chronicles, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower. By the time February 2012 ended, Xenoblade and The Last Story were already announced for localization, Xenoblade in April and The Last Story in August. But Pandora's Tower, internally the most unlikely of the 3 to come over, had not been announced, so the campaign decided to pitch the game to third-party publishers, particularly those with histories of taking a chance on smaller titles. Think Atlas, Xseed, Axis, NIS America, those guys. In order to pay for this, they started a crowdfunding campaign. Now, this was before Kickstarter and GoFundMe just took off, so it was all pretty much done on the website. Those that donated were offered a special desktop wallpaper for those that gave $5, and an additional slipcover for those that gave $10. It wasn't apparent at first, but with all 3 games coming over, and Japanese games in general getting an overall boost over the next several years, you could argue that the campaign was a complete success. The rewards for backers went out, the wallpaper's going out later that year, and I believe the slipcover is going out around 2014. Want to know about that time discrepancy? Well, it all started in late 2012. Then co-owner Stephen Boaz came to the contributor forum and told everyone that he had been robbed. Told us he lost several consoles, mail, even a package that was believed to be the cases. We ran with the story about it, explaining that it would take more time to get the slipcases out to people. However, as time wore on, certain things weren't adding up. The police report, which is public record, had no mention of a package that may have included cases. There were people questioning the story, and we were confused and angry and unsure of what was going on. Well, here it is. There was a robbery. 2 of them, in fact. The first we knew about was the robbery of the Boazes. That one was legit. But what we didn't know until the next year was what else was taken. Around spring of 2013, another co-owner came in and said the money that was raised through the campaign was taken by Stephen Boaz. And in case you're wondering, there were no slipcovers. Yet. I mean, they would eventually come, thanks to other contributors helping out. I believe the owner that replaced Boaz was actually the one who covered the cost. There may have been 1 or 2 others, but that was about it, and why they came as late as they did. As for the money, well, you can imagine how pissed we were, and I imagine some of you are right now. Hell, I gave $10 to the campaign before I ever contributed anything to the site. But as mad as I am, imagine for a moment you gave $10 to the campaign, joined the site, gave Stephen Boaz enough money to buy a replacement Wii U, and then found out that he took the money that you donated. That was an actual thing that happened. Spare a thought for contributor H. They were beyond livid. At this point, there were a few options, including calling the cops and suing. In the end, the owners decided to demand the money back, or else they would call the cops. The less lawyers involved, the better, we thought. And I think they got most of the money back. I'm not too clear how much was actually returned. But again, the campaign did exactly what it set out to. It raised awareness of Japanese games. It got these games localized and got everything it promised its backers out to them. So after all these years, why the silence? There were a number of missteps that were taken in the early days of the website. At least one of them I will talk about later. So that might have made them a bit gun shy and wanted to talk about what happened there. But I think it all boiled down to just one general thought. We were amateurs. Just about everyone that was there, myself included, was in our early to mid 20s, with a couple of us pushing 30, while one of us was actually just graduating from high school. We had no experience with this. None of us had any experience running a big website like that. I doubt most of us actually had blogging experience. I doubt anyone had any experience running a crowdfunding campaign. But we did it. And we made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I'm sure they didn't want another headache from this. So, Crystal, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about the headache you're about to get. And as for Steve Baltimore, well, anyways, that's the story as I remember it. If you have any questions, I will answer them as best as possible down below in the comments. Oh, and if you want to hear other stories, I uploaded a few right in this playlist right here. Nothing really salacious, just a few fun stories that I had, including one where we got invaded by 4chan. Also, Twitter handle here, Twitch handle here. I will try to be around both today. If you're watching this the day of release, I should be streaming Devil Summoner Raidu Kuzunoha versus the Soulless Army later on tonight. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in a different video. Take care. Maybe I should practice more often than every 10 years.